Hey everyone, welcome. Thank you so much once more for joining us. This is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, Fight Fiend Migs, aka I am your co-host, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapachet. No more than removed 24 hours from the fight that everybody's talking about. You know what? Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, the aftermath, the fallout, etc. Less than 24 hours than our own video, because sometimes when the creative juices are flowing, we got to get content out there to you. I was eating dinner 20 minutes ago, so I'm like, oh, let me get the creative juices are flowing. So if I'm burping on the show, it's because I'm burping on my damn capriotti sandwich.
Oh
Because
my
if
God.
y'all don't know, capriotti's, it's like a West Coast sandwich place. It's pretty bomb ass, but duty calls, and when we have stuff on our heads, in our brains, that we want to tell you guys, things that we're thinking that we probably forgot to. Now, some since the Garcia and Devin Haney fight, now we're kind of sort of starting to settle in, because last night when we recorded, we had our juices flowing. It was just like the adrenaline was still pumping right. We wanted to get our ideas out there. Now that we've kind of relaxed and cooled off a little bit, more things are coming to mind. So, first and foremost, Andrew, welcome. How are you doing, dude? What's going on? How you doing?
I can't guarantee I'll be too relaxed when we talk about this again. No, no, I'm doing good. Kind of surprised. I'm a bit surprised as we're almost 24 hours away from the big fight so far, the biggest fight of this year as we stand right now. Um, but yeah, I don't know if you want to open it up. You want me to open it? It's just
Sure.
weird. It's a I thought Ryan was going to get a little bit more slack than what I see
Mhm.
coming at him on social media. And I'm not
Mhm.
talking about casuals. I'm not talking about fans. It's really the media and the professionals. Yeah, the boxers are actually praising this case. I'm seeing things like game plan, great game plan. Um, Zoo said he's drinking a beer at the next weigh-ins. Everything that we didn't want, Miguel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Seems
No,
like
I
it's
got you,
starting.
dude. And yeah, I know, and I agree, yeah, let's that's the very, very first thing I want to touch on. Right, everybody knows by now, right? Ryan Garcia got himself a majority decision victory over Devin Haney last night in at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The scorecards were a little meh, but ultimately he got himself the victory. It was a close fight on the scorecards, at least, because it looked like Devin Haney was fucking flopping all over the goddamn place whenever he would get tagged. But that is for our yesterday's show. If you guys want to check that out, we kind of go a little more in depth into the fight. We're going to talk about something slightly different. Yes, regarding the fight, but we I want to say the exact same way that people talk about Gervonta Davis beating Ryan Garcia with that little asterisk. Well, here's another one. There's another asterisk, but this time it's on Ryan Garcia's ass. So we're not pleased with how things are going as far as the praise that he's getting. He I'll get into my version here momentarily, but I want to hear Andrew's side of it first. So, Andrew, what are you hearing? What are you not liking that you're hearing?
Well, like I said, basically the game, you see people are talking about the game plan of Ryan Garcia, and what was the game plan? I mean, to act crazy, almost get kicked out of the fight. I mean, seriously, we were like a decision away from this fight not even taking place because the kid was so off the wall on his remarks, his tweets, everything that he was saying. Um, his dad called his father a nappy head, right?
Mm,
Racist slurs, right? Then we have
mm,
Ryan admitting drug use and alcoholism or alcohol use on the podium,
mm,
right? We have the girls partying during the week, all the bad things that you're not supposed to do in boxing. Ryan acted like he could do all this and go in there, miss weight. What's the game? I don't understand the game plan.
mm,
Because seriously, if this is where boxing's going, we have a fucking problem. If now, whenever you sign a contract, it really doesn't matter, there's no way this is the
mm,
future. Because everyone from here on out has to be a little bit smarter when they write these contracts up. Now that we've had
mm,
this situation where a guy basically said, fuck your belt, I'm going to cheat, get the win, and now I'm the face of boxing? What? It's incredible. And shame, listen, I get it from the media because the media isn't the same what it was 40 years ago. And I have to say 40 because I'm 44. So we have to go
All right.
farther back, Miguel. Fuck.
All right. Yeah, like it wasn't the same thing 40 years ago.
40 years. Yeah, exactly, bro. Yes, sir. Reality check. Hello.
Yeah, right.
The media don't dictate the buys anymore. The media don't dictate the popularity of these fighters anymore. Really, it's the promotional company on how good are you on social. It's the fighter like Ryan. How good are you on social? So one slip up, that could be it for your media career, whatever that stands for nowadays.
Yeah, because everybody is their own media. Like literally is called social media. You can put yourself on the internet. You don't need some writer or journalist to write about you anymore. You can just pick up your phone and do that shit. So that kind of cuts out the quote unquote middleman, the media. So now that puts media in a certain situation where they have to play ball. They have to play nice.
And it doesn't even cut them out, but it caps them. You can't say too much. You say too much, you're out. Right? That's all it did. And people, I seen it done personally. I watched a guy get his credential taken. I've always talked about this, but I bring it up because I seen it in the media room. Dude didn't even write that bad of an article. I won't bring up his name. The article wasn't that bad about the fight. He was bringing up a few things about the tickets not being, the same shit. Overpriced tickets, not the turnout they wanted, blah, 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 blah. Your credentials pulled? Snip. Or they threw it in the garbage, told him to leave. Gone.
Well, was it during the fight or was it
during the fight? We were in the press room, bro. They walked up, took his necklace, and made him leave. Crazy. Okay? That's crazy. That wouldn't have happened back in the day. If he was representing a big-time media company, that don't happen. Because the promoters are like, hey, you can't piss off Sports Illustrated. Can't piss off New York Times, right? These guys are the ones that are driving this fight. Can't piss off the San Francisco Chronicle. I used to watch him. I watched the Chronicle go in there and talk so much. He was like a 90-year-old man. I swear to God, when I got in, the Chronicle was sending one of the oldest reporters to go do these fights. That dude didn't give a shit, Miguel. He was talking hellish shit. Because back in the days, the reporters were different. Oh, you know how bad they would have called out Ryan Garcia and the bullshit he pulled?
I can imagine.
Yeah. Imagine, you ever heard the stories about Philadelphia's reporting? The East Coast, basically the East Coast, that all their reporters are hard. And baseball and freaking football, they're all hard. They ask hard questions. They're always going at the coaches and them, always exchanging. You know what I mean? West Coast doesn't have as bad of a reputation as the East Coast. But that's not in boxing anymore. The media has changed. So what I'm a little upset at is the fighters for giving him this pass. This was not a game plan. Listen to me. It was a lack of a game plan by Devin Haney. It was a lack of adjustments by the Haneys. Ryan did the same thing that everyone said Ryan was going to do, and that's land a fucking left hook, and it comes fast, and it comes strong, and he's got a puncher's chance. And why Haney didn't have that?
Yeah, at all times, because there were times where he did have it, and there were times where he blocked it, but by and large,
and there's way too many times where he doesn't. His hand is down here, so you can still get it to hit the top of the head. We heard Timothy Bradley talk about the bow and arrow jab, right? He does this. We talked about his angles. He picked the wrong door. On one of those knockouts, he's leaving to his right. It's like, what are you doing? You got to circle your left. You got to move away from his. Get away from it. What are you doing? This is simple shit. This is a lack of game plan. Setting up a counter off a hook. If you know, we watched Gervonta. Ryan was throwing 3 left hooks in a row, leading with the left hook. Like Ryan, he's heavy on the left. You don't want to learn a counter off of that and just step back? Let him come in, not you always trying to go. Just there's lack of game plan. Not a praise of Ryan's. Ryan's game plan was everything that everyone said it was going to be. Let me tell you, Ryan shocked the world because he fought 12 hard rounds. That's why he shocked the world. It wasn't that he landed, the left hook was landing. He's knocked out people with the single shot. We all knew his left hook is his bread and butter. So
Sure.
that's not surprising that his left hook landed, did the damage that it did. What was surprising was that he was able to work 12 solid rounds with the bullshit that he gave us. The partying,
Mhm.
the drinking, looked overweight. He planned that. And that's something that I can't believe isn't being just
Yeah.
recycled.
That
And
there's where my rant is gonna come in. There's where
it,
my rant, because
there's your door, dude.
it was, I mean, it has now become obvious that what you said, you hit the nail right on the fucking head. He didn't train for 140. He trained for 143. No later than the damn ink was dry on the fucking contract, him and his team said, "We're not gonna make." That was the game plan from the fucking jump. Not make 140. So the contract doesn't mean jack shit. He the him guarantee, or I should say, training to not come in at 140 but rather 143. His game plan, if you wanna ask that question, Andrew, his game plan was this: there was a slight chance that Devin and his team pulls out of the fight because of his antics, because of not making weight. The only way that Ryan could guarantee, or damn near guarantee, that Devin and his team doesn't pull out of the fight, don't pull out of the fight, is by pissing them off so much with his over the top antics that Devin and his team said, "Watch, when we get you in the ring, motherfucker, this is, you want to talk all this shit."
They made it
They
personal.
didn't. They made it personal. They didn't even consider pulling out of the fight. That was the plan, and the only way that that fight takes place and the game plan works is if they don't pull out, because they get smart. I'm talking about Devin and his team. They see what's going on. Because I mean, hey, if you want to say Ryan got one over on us, okay, he got run over on us. Sorry for us, like maybe dumb us that we thought you were gonna honor the contract you signed. You fuck. Oh, sorry.
You're right.
What we
I know.
thought you were gonna make the damn weight class. Sorry for us. You got one over because you damn signed a contract that said you were gonna do it, but he didn't. All right, he got one over on us. Let's just say he got one over on Devin Haney. If Devin Haney and his team pulls out of the fight, his plan backfires. His plan, I'm talking about Ryan. The only way he can guarantee he doesn't pull out of the fight is to piss his team off so much, Ryan pissing Devin's team off so much, that they don't consider pulling out of the fight. They're okay with taking the money. By that point, he's already made the weight. Cool. Here's an extra bet. Handshake, whatever the fuck. Boom. Everybody is giving Ryan props for what he did. Fine. He went in there big as shit, 3 pounds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but clearly he didn't want to drop those additional 3 pounds, right? Obviously, for a reason. And he had the three-weighted 3 pound advantage that he puts it on his fucking social media, saying, you thought I was gonna kill myself to make one? Yeah, because you signed a goddamn contract. That's why, fool. Why else? Dumb us for giving you the benefit of the doubt and thinking you would honor that contract like a real Christian, like a real fucking Christian, dude. So you're gonna try to say everybody praise the fuck out of him because he did what he did, coming in here heavy, deleting, because the game plan was to never make 140. That was the game plan. You're gonna he got one over on us, fine, if you want to say that, but he did it. Can you imagine you sign a contract with somebody, a business partner, they fuck you over and then steal money, and it's like, haha, you dumb fuck, I got one over on you. Well, you signed a contract, you son of a bitch. I was gonna trust you, you motherfucker. That was kind of the point. So when he doesn't do that deliberately from the jump, no more than that damn ink dried on the contract, he said, "I'm not making 140. We're gonna fight these guys over." However much money he got paid, the 1.5 million wasn't jack shit. He was willing to fork it up. He was willing to fork up the money that he gives up to the athletic commission for not making the weight. Comes in arrogant as fuck with the beer because he got him. He got him. He was doing this, luring him with the fucking carrot on the stick. Oh, 3 pounds, boom, boom, 1.5 million, whatever the fuck. And
And
then
let me
Devin doesn't pull out of the fight. So,
and let me give
I'll go
you
ahead.
examples of why Miguel hit this one out.
Yeah.
His dad called them a nappy head, so he went racist on them, right? right? That's gonna get under their skin. That might not make them pull out of a fight just by saying that. And I think he says it twice during that press conference in LA. He talked about his mother, right? Where's your mother? He's going personal. All of this stuff, they're going personal. Then you have all the other insults. He was the weakest in the amateurs. Everyone thought the Devin wasn't anything. I don't know if you've seen that face off, but he tells them that when they're going back and forth. He went personal a lot. So I totally agree with that was the plan from the get, was to get them in a position where they had no other option but to fight, knowing these guys weren't going to make weight. And I'll tell you why. Another reason why, and I kept telling you guys to go back and look at the weigh-ins or the bet, the $500,000 bet, because when they make that bet, his dad loses his mind. I told you that. His dad's like, "No, Ryan, no, no, no. Everyone go back and watch the bet be in place, man. They know Ryan's over."
Eric Bonnie mentioned that on one of the broadcasts. I think it was the pre-fight or post-fight. Like him at the Zone was saying that he was like talking about the bet, and he brought up the fact that his pops tried to stop him from doing that. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's that. So I think you're absolutely right. This was that was their game plan, and that's not a game plan. This is not the kind of head games that we need in boxing. Seriously, Bill Haney would never do this over again, I hope, and everyone else needs to learn from this. You got to be way more careful about these contracts that are being built up. Eddie Hearn needs to kind of look in the mirror on this one and learn from it, because it was kind of bullshit. Now they're saying there's no rematch clause. Miguel, I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, well, there never was a rematch clause. Not that because they never once mentioned it prior to the fight. I think it was just them in the ring saying like, "All right, I'm a man of my word. Yeah, let's do our rematch." So no, everything from what I've heard Ryan say to De La Hoya saying, "No, we got our sights set." As a matter of fact, I mentioned the other night, Boots Enos, I can't remember his last name, Jerron. They got their eyes set on Jerron. So okay, cool. Fine, whatever. But it's, let me bring this in here real quick. This is what Ryan did to us. This is what Ryan did to us. He robbed us, guys. He fucking robbed us. This is what the fuck he did. We're gonna reward this motherfucker for robbing us, because that's what he did. He straight up said, "I'm gonna sign the contract. I'm gonna," that explains how bad his behavior was, how over the top it was. He needed to guarantee that Devin doesn't pull out of the fight and let everything out. Everything from all the shit that he was saying to the fashion in which he was saying it, and of course the antics at the weigh-in with the beer. So he robbed us. If you want to praise him for that, cool, whatever. That's.
I even heard,
and he mopped the floor with fucking Devin.
I even heard one outlet put, "Where does he land on the pound for pound ranking?" Because Devin Haney was on the rank. I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? Are you fucking like?" It goes back to, yeah, I don't know if the media will ever be the same for boxing, man. I really don't. We got a lot of people that just going with whatever the flow is. It's very much, it could be the WWE if it wanted to right now with the way people are.
Yeah, that really is, because when they don't want you in there, they're not going to let you in their fucking press rooms, right? They're not going to give you the credentials. You go against the grain, and that's one thing. Giving him credit for it. It's like, what do you not want to, ruffle feathers? You just want to go along with it, go with the flow, go ahead and congratulate him the way everyone else was congratulating them. I don't know. That's terrible. That's terrible, because from the time that I went to bed yesterday to this morning when I woke up and all these things were like, now I'm thinking, okay, now the erratic behavior makes sense, and to some degree, I don't think he was trolling. I think some of that stuff is legit. I think he he's not all there. During the post-fight press conference, he was talking about, we thought he was tripping. We thought he was good. It's like no, y'all were tripping. Y'all guys thought all that shit was for real, yada yada. It's like, how is that us tripping, thinking that you would honor the contract? Oh, that's us tripping, really. Like, get the fuck out of here. So I'm not digging that. Um, the way that he's being hoisted on people's shoulders, like fucking Rudy, Rudy. That's basically what they're doing to fucking Ryan, like cheering him on for this behavior. I would like to think that that doesn't happen again in the future because it's kind of one of those tricks you can only pull off once. You know,
Yeah.
you rob the
No,
bank, you
definitely.
can't. I don't think you can
Definitely.
do it again because next time it's like let's wait until the weigh-in, because and if for any fighter who is seeing this, Devin, I hope you're seeing this, and Devin's team, this happens again, you're a fighter. It doesn't matter how big the fight is. You don't go with proceed. You don't proceed with the fight. The guy comes in heavy. You book it. I mean, and again, you mentioned it yesterday. We're not talking about a few ounces, obviously. Something as blatant as 3.2 pounds or whatever the shit. And then, is arrogant enough to be drinking while he's, whether it's a beer or not is irrelevant. It's the fact that he's, usually when the fighters hop on the scale, they hop off and they immediately start chugging the Pedialyte to start replenishing and stuff like that. This motherfucker doesn't give two rats ass. He's drinking while he's on the damn scale. So we're gonna give him the credit for that. I'll give him credit for robbing us, no doubt. I'll give him credit for scamming us, no doubt. If that's the credit that he's going to be receiving for the knockout, by all means, and during the fight, it made more sense why he was such a clown in the ring. The sticking out the tongue, the dancing, and then there was even a part in the middle of the fight where he was like turning to. He said that he was going to do this. He was going to turn to Bill Haney, in the corner, and be like, "Come on, throw in the towel. Come on, I want you, don't do this to your kid," kind of thing, right? He did it. He did it. He went. He looked into the corner, and he was like,
Yeah.
boom, right? Of course, we didn't think that he was going to be not on the same playing field. We didn't expect that. Everything that we predicted was based on him fighting at 140, and it didn't happen. So everything goes out the window there. But
And here's the tweets that he sent out on the weigh-in day. One said, "Why would I force myself to make weight so I can be weak? Why would I force myself to make weight so I could be weak? Nah, I'm here to win. That's it." Tweet number 2, I feel good. I got a 3-pound advantage. Let's go. Winners do what they have to. I'm still sharp. That to me is a confession that he cheated. I don't know how there's not a commission looking at these tweets, and they're not looking. Miguel, are we a professional sport?
I would like to think we are, with integrity to some degree. I would like to think we're fucking a professional sport.
Devin Haney, and this is why the belt stays with Haney. Okay? This fight turned into an exhibition, and it's too bad that Bill and Devin didn't do a better job of letting everyone know that it was no longer a fight. They might as well have been doing it for charity at this point. Yeah, we're making money, but this is no title fight. It's not even a real junior welterweight fight. It's at some fucking fake weight division that Ryan has made up in his head. We're fighting at 143 for some reason. Okay? They lied to my son. They told him it was 140. They lied.
To everyone. That's why they call him Lyin Ryan.
And his own tweets say it. His own fucking tweets. He didn't write on there, "I'm sorry, you guys. I stood 2 hours in the fucking sauna today. I feel dead. I could barely walk. I promise I'm going to get." No, he didn't say any of that. I tried as hard at this last week. Has been growing. I've been seeing, hallucinating. I was so hungry. All I was seeing and smelling was food. I couldn't stand it. None of that. What do we get? Ha, ha, ha. Joke's on you. I'm the smart one.
I fooled you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad enough that he tweeted that he's cheated, that he's cheating, that he cheated, but he intended to from day one. If that's like, there's always, it's bad enough that the action took place, but when you see that it was premeditated, it's like, holy fuck, that's even worse. That's like,
it's supposed
you
to be.
planned this. Oh,
in the court of law, it is. In the court of law, premeditated is pretty bad, bro.
Even if you didn't even achieve doing it, you were attempting to do it, and it was premeditated. Granted, you might not have done it. In this particular case, Ryan accomplished it. So it's like, oh, really? So you're admitting that not only did you not at any point was it part of your game plan to actually make 140, but you're going to put it out in the World Wide Web so everybody can see it as evidence. So,
Jermell
I,
Jermell
I'm,
moved up to fight Canelo. He didn't lose his titles at 154. You know what I mean? Kell Brook went up to fight Triple G. He didn't lose his title at 147. Let's stop the bullshit here.
yeah.
Devin Haney moved up to 143. Now, whatever fucking weight division that is, I have no idea. Go ask Golden Boy, who's so happy that their fighter's now the champion at 143.
Yeah.
Because, like Oscar
He's the
said,
face of boxing.
he's the champ now. He's the champ now. 143, bitches. He calls shots. Matter of fact, 145 pounds. Who wants it? They're just making shit up now. They're just making it up.
Would this fight have been the same if, let's say, because he was asked, Oscar was asked this during the post-fight presser, a potential rematch with Davis, and Ryan. He says, like, well, he's not going to make it. And Ryan himself says, like, dude, I can't go below 143, yada, yada. We know now, but nonetheless, it's like, oh, yeah, we might figure out some sort of catch weight, 145, like you said, right? Or something. I forgot what number it said.
They start making up their own divisions.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because they wouldn't have said it before. They wouldn't have said, oh, yeah, let's do Devin and at 143 or 145.
Oh,
no.
Yeah,
they'll let him believe.
Yep.
They'll let him believe. You're like, oh, no, do 140. We won't do no catch up with your ass. We'll do 140. Wink, wink. We'll do 140. Like, what the fuck? No, bro. Come on. So, yeah, that's nice that they're going to try to do a little, catch weight with that motherfucker. Give him the head. Sure, don't do that with Devin, and then potentially ruin his goddamn career, breaking his goddamn jaw, making, and then everybody praising him for it. That's gun under my
It's a bad look.
But it's a terrible look because he's literally being rewarded for that kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? For cheating. That's ultimately what it comes down to. So the fact that everybody is hosting him up like he's like, damn, he's the piece of boxing. He does we're gonna go that direction, fine, but you can't tell me there's no goddamn Asterisk that shit. Saying how much bigger he was. Seeing if we're talking about Arturo Gatti, fighting Joey Camacho and weighing 140 the day before, and then weighing 160 the fight of, he fucking slaughtered his ass. But you know what? He fucking made weight than 24 hours before. He did it. He came in huge 24 hours later. And Chavez Jr. has done that shit, fighting at 160 and then coming in at 180, the next night around. But he didn't even do that. So,
hey, did you see Ryan when he posted the it's like the tail of the tape of the two training camps? Did you see what he posted? And right now he's on his way to Miami. So Ryan's social media is about to be on fire because he's on a private jet to Miami right now, I believe. He put out a tail of the tape of like basically a list of what him and Devin did for training. Devin Haney wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every morning to train, no drugs or alcohol, listens to his trainer, bro. That's on Devin Haney's side. All right, you guys? The future of boxing. The face of boxing. Here we go.
The face of boxing, right.
Listens to his trainer, diets, sparring, trains 5 times a day, runs 8 miles every day. Ryan Garcia's list. You ready? Alcohol and thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, he's not doing us off any favors.
Hey, for all of you there, I know it's a joke, but behind jokes, there's truth.
Right.
Yeah, leave me with the what did Derek James do for your career?
Yeah.
Because right now, in the ring, his game plan was also a legal stance. Derek James didn't. None of Derek James' other fighters do the crappy shoulder roll where it exposes the back. Did you see Sean O'Malley?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That made me laugh a little.
I'm not a huge fan of O'Malley himself anyway, but that was kind of funny regardless. That was. It was legit. It's like, I know there's I'm reading a lot of stuff about how Harvey Dog helping out, Devin, but it's like, He's not helping out Ryan by letting him turn his fucking back, Again, at some point, he just was like, you know what, fuck it. If Devin's going to crack you in the kidney, he's going to crack you in the kidney, so be it. But nothing prior to that, nothing as far as like, stop turning your
No,
fucking back. At least give you an 8 count for turning your goddamn back.
and there should be warnings, and by round 12, there should have been a point because he's taken away from the fight. He's taken away, dude. There's too many rounds where he's all over Devin about that. Okay, there's too many rounds. Yeah, at the end he finally got his shit right, and you know what? Ryan's cheating, but you need to tell Ryan you can't do that at some point, man, because you're taking away basically a whole arm from Devin Haney. Right? He couldn't really use the right hand. He goes over the top, he's gonna hit behind the head. He goes to the ribs, he's close to the liver shot. Right? They were like, "Oh, don't hit his back,
Yes,
kidney, excuse me. Don't hit his back. Don't hit his back." It's like, what the fuck, man? So what am I supposed to do? And they even said that. They're like, "Well, what are we supposed to do? Look how he's standing." At some point, you like to see the ref throw at least 3-4 warnings. And after the fourth warning of you're turning your back, which is one of the most amateur moves you can be doing, you gotta treat him like a little boy that he's acting like and take the point away. He's scared right now of getting hit.
And he is. And you know why? Because he got tagged early on.
Yeah.
Because he got rocked.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? Watch Devin do that low hand and then high up with that left that stunned Ryan. Who else caught him like that? Campbell did. Yeah. The exact same fucking way. He kept doing the 1-2 low, throwing the left, and it was literally Ryan doing the exact same reaction. Going back, kind of squinting, and bringing his hand down, leaving his face wide the fuck open. It's unfortunate for, Devin, as people calling him the pillow hands, he just didn't have the power. He didn't have the power, but he stunned him, Campbell had a little bit more power, and they were talking about 135 back then. But nonetheless, my point is, he did the exact same thing. Once he got tagged, he's like, oh, back to the shoulder roll. Where's he from? Victorville? We're going to call it the Victorville shoulder roll. That's what we're going. Not the Philly one. Not the Philly shoulder roll. The Victorville and the fucking Ryan. That's what it is. It's like, come on, dude. I would have liked to have seen some more harsher warnings, and maybe
and for holding for both guys.
Yeah. Well, you can understand it on Devin's end. He was fucking stunned, right? And by all means, if too much is too much, go ahead with the point. But at no point was Ryan holding because he was hurt. I think he was just holding because he was tired as fuck and tried to nullify.
Yeah. Yes.
But at no point was it because he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? At least as far as the holding goes. So, what role do you think? Because you mentioned it earlier. Did Derek James play in this? Do you think he knew the whole time? I mean, he had to have known, right? He's in the corner.
Yes. No,
and
they
just
all
let it happen.
They all
said, like, let's do it. Let's just go ahead.
They all knew boxing can be dirty in that way sometimes. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that these guys are trying to get away with. These guys were out in the open with it. This was not behind the scenes because unfortunately, their fighters started tweeting about his plans of not coming in on weight, right? Ha ha ha. No, why would I do that? Like the way he worded it, it sounds like he never even attempted. That has to be a breach of contract. There has to be a bigger lawsuit than just he gets penalized. It's something that I would at least want to talk to his sports lawyer to see if there's anything that would happen. Because once again, if they're like, oh no, when Bill and Devin signed that contract for the new weight, it eliminates everything that's on the other one. You guys are stupid for taking the fight. You guys are dumb.
Yeah.
And for anyone that says, oh, well, you have to because everyone will be mad at you. Your son is more important than the rest of the world being mad at you guys. People have got.
You know who said that? And you know who said that? Bradley said that. Timothy Bradley said that shit. He was just like, people were gonna be turning on Devin, basically being so pissed that he decided to pull out of the fight. And you know what's crazy? This actually happened in the UFC some time ago. There's this dude. His name is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He at one time he was fighting a dude, and the guy came in heavy. And I want to say it was some years ago, but he took the fight anyway, and it was a harder fight. I'm not even sure if he won or lost, but regardless. It came around a second time. I don't say second time. It was a different opponent. But anyway, comes around and he says no. And I don't remember right offhand, but I don't even think he was the main event. He wasn't. He was like on the primary card, but he wasn't the main event. So the guy comes in heavy, and he's like, "No, this happened to me before." No, right? And then it was like it was on. People were like hard on him. They were just like basically ripping this dude a new asshole for pulling out. Fans left and right, and again, to some degree, fans' opinions don't matter, but at the same time, they kind of do because they buy tickets. So there's some degree their opinion does matter. And he behind closed doors, he had to figure out something with him and Dana White in the UFC because if he didn't fight, he chose not to fight. Therefore, he ain't gonna get paid. Oh, so you're gonna reward that son of a bitch for not making weight, and I'm gonna be punished. So you're gonna punish me for him not making weight. At some point, I think they kind of came around and gave him a little something under the table, just kind of like, like, my bad. Okay, sorry, you're right. Here's some money. In the end, he did get some money. I don't know if it was his show money or fight money or whatever it is, the way their pay structure is. But at the end, he did get some money. Not what it would have been had he fought, regardless. But, dude, people were ripping him a new asshole because he was like, no, it's happened to me before. I got my ass handed to me by the heavier guy, and he gets his win bonus because he fucking wins. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, this happened before. So, guys, yes, please, if you're in the same position, if it's a few pounds, again, we're not talking about ounces, and if the guy looks
we're not
like
even talking about a pound.
Yeah. If he made the effort to, or looked as though he was trying to make the effort and not blatantly, arrogantly admitting that he fucking was like, that was you thought I was going to kill myself to make the weight? Yeah, because you kind of signed the contract, so that's kind of what that means. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, that's happened before. So yes, Bill, it was.
That's part of the.
We can't. Huh?
That's part of the.
It can't. We can't absolve Devin and his team of responsibility because they did take the money. That's the one defense I'm hearing all over. Well, he took the money, so like, how does that make it right? It doesn't make it right. It makes them stupid for taking it, but it doesn't fucking make it right.
And this is my argument, Miguel.
Yeah.
Those tweets weren't put out until after the new contract was signed. So can you sue on a breach of contract because he put out the tweet saying that he never tried? That's where it's going to get, interesting if they try to look into that. Because this is a professional sport, man. There's rules you got to go by. And to me, with him writing what he did online, drinking a beer on the scale, the videos he was posting, the racist thing ain't going to work for him in this court case either. I'm serious. His dad calling him a nappy head thing twice. That's not going to work for him. If I'm the Haneys, man, I'm looking into that on what we can do about that.
Yeah.
And really, so it never happens again, because I don't want to see it. Listen, this is not a sport. This is not where I want the sport to go. I don't want to see beer. I don't want everyone to turn into Ricardo Mayorga. I know my friend, he brought up Mayorga, man. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You had Andy Ruiz. He's winning over there eating tacos or whatever, fucking not even training. Mayorga was smoking cigarettes. Now you got Ryan drinking beer on the scale. Like, and granted, Mayorga's career isn't long, doesn't end well, turns out to be a punching bag at the end. Like, so it wasn't great for him, but we don't need these type of characters. You know what I mean? And Ryan, he set back some people. It sounds like he set back some of our pros. Tim, come on, Tim. I hope you're joking, bro, but we don't need these type of jokes. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep the shit professional. You guys are supposed to be the same athletes as the NBA, the NFL, Major League Soccer. You know what I mean? Like the top dogs, man. We're not fucking playing childish fucking games here.
And you know what? There's a lot of things, bad things that I've heard as far as like some of these like NFL contracts or NBA contracts in regards to not allowing these players to do other stuff, some extracurricular
hell
stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, oh wow, that on the outside, on the surface, seems like, damn, these guys are controlling as fuck. But it's like, no, it needed to have happened.
Yes.
And I say it, and I keep going to continue saying that. I said it last night. Boxing is the wild, wild west. If we have to make a fucking law or a thing like a contract,
You got guys that signed guaranteed contracts, and the team knew that the dude liked motorcycles. The guy buys a motorcycle day one with his brand new money. Bam, hits a fucking car, a tree, anything. Now he can't play, but he's guaranteed $100 million on a fucking motorcycle that the team knew that he was gonna buy. Guess who's not buying a motorcycle for the next 5 years? It's in the contract. You will not ride bikes on that. Oh yeah, that happens in major league sports all the time. All of that stuff, they'll take that right away if it threatens their investment. You know what I mean? They're investing hundreds of millions into you. Ryan's not didn't have that, but he at least had, Devin Haney might have lost hundreds of millions on a guy that basically confessed online that he cheated. I'm looking for a breach of contract lawsuit soon.
Talking about, a game where there's dunks, and I know this is the most like oldest boxing cliche. You don't play boxing, right? We get it, right? But this is one of the reasons why that cliche is as cliche it is. We're not talking about hitting baseballs. We're not talking about dunking and fucking catching footballs and whatnot. We're talking about two dudes throwing down. You see, Devin Haney's jaw is fucked up. That's what happens. That's
Yeah.
what happens when you calculate wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the long-term consequences are for Devin. If he comes back and it's just gunshot like a motherfucker and it's not the same, it's gonna have lasting effects. It does that shit. So if we're gonna allow these little loopholes, it's going to get to the point where now, from here on out, it's like the next contract that fucking Ryan signs, the other fighters going to be like, and if you don't make weight, the fight's on, the fight's off, it has to be all that. Like, Jesus, really? This stuff that is supposed to be really like goes without saying. It's supposed to go without saying. But the fact that now it's like, damn, now we have to do it. The only reason we have to say it is because some bitch ruined it for everybody else, basically. And that's what Ryan is doing. We're not talking about no fucking big game. We're talking about throwing down, changing potentially the career of a dude because you thought you got one over on us, and you deliberately cheated and intended to cheat from day one.
But and he did change his career. Devin Haney's career is not the same anymore because Ryan did what he did on that scale. And like I said, it's Ryan's foolish ass for putting out those tweets about doing it on purpose. That's what should bite him in the ass. If anyone is to get a lesson out of this, I'm hoping the commission looks at those tweets and goes, "Yeah, I think we need to reevaluate the fine." And then I hope the Haneys look into someone about looking for a breach of contract lawsuit because he messed up millions of dollars for the Haneys on that night. It's not just a ha ha, right? This is the real world here. We're not fucking children. So, um, it is what it is, man. Bill's I don't think Bill's going anywhere. He already said he's not. I'm cool with that. Him and Devin, they've done good. It's not like this was Devin's first big fight. The guy's been in many big fights. They went out of the country. They pulled it off against Cambosos twice, which was a great feat. This is a learning experience for them too, right? They got hustled. They got hustled in this one.
Yes, that's why I bring it up. Like, that's pretty much what happened. This is what Ryan did to us, yo. This is what Ryan, and not just to us fans, but Devin and his team. But go ahead, that's the best fucking way. Devin and his team got hustled. That's what happened.
So just next time him and Eddie and them, they got to really write out a contract that covers all bases. It really does.
Like all encompassing. You do anything that's going to be, that we can, like, even if you don't tweet about it, we find out about it somehow. The fight's on.
And how about this, boxing world? I was told, I don't know if it was you or someone else I was talking to at the gym. The commission would have never have allowed him to try to lose 3 pounds. Did you hear? Have you ever heard about how much weight you can lose in a matter of time? And that if it's too much weight, they won't even allow you to try because they're like, you won't be able to lose 3 pounds in 2 hours.
No.
So if that's the case, what I would do as a promoter, a trainer, whatever, I'm gonna be asking some doctors, what's the weight that you think, maximum weight a fighter at this elite level, UFC, boxing, doesn't matter, could lose in 2 hours? And if they say, oh, it's only 2 pounds max, man, anything else, that fighter's really stressing his body, that fighter's hurting himself big time, I don't think we should do it. Why the fuck would you let him fight at 3? Right? If they said he was so overweight that they won't even attempt to try to lose it, that means he's in a weight division that's way too big for your kid. So I'm not doing the fight. The fight's off. So I think that should be in the rules. There has to be a maximum weight. If by whatever chance you do come in overweight, if it's by a pound and a half, the fight's off. If it's a pound and 3/4, the fight's off. We're not even going to the fucking sauna. We're walking. And then maybe everyone will be a little bit, fucking neater on that scale trying to make weight. Both sides. Both sides. This is something the promoters should probably come together. De La Hoya likes doing all those roundtables and go, hey, man.
Well, he won't do it now. I mean,
Well,
his boy is the one
like
that
you
he got
said,
booted off,
this
right?
was their one shot. This was their one shot. This is where everyone said, hey, good to you. Now fuck off. We're writing some rules in the fucking rule book right now. You know what I mean? So this was their one money shot. But maximum weight should be in there and a fucking way higher penalty. Ryan they said upwards of $30 million guaranteed. What the fuck was 1.5? And we talked about that, dude. We literally said.
And then whatever percentage it was that is going to go to the athletic commission, it's so. And mind you, this is just the guaranteed amount that he's going to get. Forget, the sponsorships and pay-per-view, the live gate, anything on his fucking trunks or whatever the shit, right? That doesn't even the obvious endorsements. Doesn't include any of that. For all we know, the fucking pay-per-view covered that fee for him. You know what I'm saying? And and probably still has some left over.
We know what covered it. We know what covered it. Did you hear about the bet?
Oh yes, the $2 million bet that he
$2 million. Yeah. So he made $12 million at the casino. They're saying, Miguel. So he was cut. He was covered from day one. Hey, Ryan. You just gave a good movie plot for Ocean's 19, baby. Here it comes, baby.
Yeah.
You fuckers did good.
Garcia's 19. Garcia's 19. Like we're expecting the lights to go off in the middle of the fucking fight, like in that movie with Lewis and Vladimir. That kind of shit. It's just like the
whole movie. The whole movie could be what he did.
No, I know. Him robbing us, but I just like it's. I can imagine one of those kind of scenes that he fucking pulled off on us. But at the end of the day, like you coined it best, dude. He hustled us. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he hustled us not because of the superior, intellect, but because we gave him the benefit of the doubt that he would do what the contract says. He would honor the contract, which he deliberately didn't do and never intended to actually honor it. So the thing that you taught me,
I won't get into it. Yeah. The Ramadan religion. Do you think Muslim fighters should now stay away from doing anything on this religion holiday? And excuse me, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone by calling it a religious holiday. I don't know, Ramadan, right? That's how you say it.
Whatever the proper, yeah.
Let me give you 3 fights. Let me give you 3 fights. Prince Naseed versus Barrera, I believe, happens around April 20th. I didn't go check the date.
Oh, you know what? It did, because I saw somebody post it recently, like on this day 20 years ago, whatever the fuck, and it happened in April. You're right.
All right. Prince Naseed fights Barrera. Amir Khan fights Prentice Prescott on Ramadan.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was.
Yeah, that was his. He was like, "Oh, I fasted." That was all his reasons for getting knocked out. And now you have Devin Haney. And I'm not saying this with a smile or anything, but maybe, just maybe.
We're seeing a pattern.
Yes, you might want to stay away from that date as a Muslim fighter. So that's all I was going. I thought about Barrera. I was like, wait, I think it was April 20th too for Barrera per se. And then I already knew about the Amir Khan one. That one stayed with me. And now you have Devin. All 3 of those men were never the same. Right? Prince never comes back. Amir Khan kind of really never gets his shine back. He has some big moments, but it's kind of just him getting knocked out. He's never like the Amir Khan anymore. And then Devin, in my opinion, was a changed man on Saturday.
Well, he might be, because it's too early to tell right now. But based off of those 2 previous examples, that seems to be the direction that he's going. Because
and while everyone, I am going to go into it.
I'm hearing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
While everyone's praising, I see a lot of the Christians coming back out and praising Ryan again, which, yes, it was a good win. You know, Jesus is king. I get it. I get all the posts that are saying that. We gotta worry about fake prophets. We gotta worry about men that are leading our children to sin while acting like they're praising God. Right? There's a very thin line there when you're like, oh yeah, Jesus is king, and then you sin immediately 2 minutes after that, and then the whole week it, you're messing up our children, right? They're like, well, look, he likes God and he still drinks and does coke, and dude, he was smoking weed yesterday, and I know the hell of people smoke weed. I don't know, bro. I'm
Well,
not
I
here
don't
to
think that's what
write
it was. I
what's
don't think
sin.
that's what it was. I don't think because it's still a banned substance
It
regardless.
was
And
the
also,
Haney.
I don't.
It was the
Huh?
Haney pack. I thought Haney does dispensaries now. I watched.
No, I. Oh shit! Is that
I
what it was?
watched.
Because like I thought he was continuing because wouldn't that mean that he still gets even though it's after the fight like this like I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know, bro. Nate Diaz was burning at the freaking press conference right on the table at his last press con. I don't know if weed is off the list now because it's legal in a lot of states.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I know it's legal, but I
I
still think it's on the banned substance list. But anyway, go
I
ahead.
seen Haney selling. He was doing commercials for some dispensary, and it looked like Ryan smoking a blunt, and they were saying it's the Haney pack. So that's why I put it together that, he was smoking whatever strand Haney's named after. So
Sure.
it's just not a good look. And bro, I don't even think he's supposed to be smoking tobacco because really, I believe you're not supposed to do anything that hurts your body, right? That's part of being bad. No tattoos. You're not supposed to hurt your body. So smoking is hurting. So it's still not a good look. You're confusing the kids. So I just want to let everyone know, yes, I get your Jesus is king, and I love that. He did win. I get it. I get it. They went up and they met at the Rock. There was a rock, and wait, I get it, but we got to still teach the kids that the way Ryan is living is not the real Christian way, right? If you're going to go with God, you got to go 100%. You don't slack off. We're not getting get out jail free cards here. So
Yeah.
I just want to let everyone just kind of keep that on a level. And then to my
Yeah.
Muslim brothers, stay away from Ramadan because I don't think Allah likes Ramadan.
No.
Um,
He must not be a boxing fan apparently.
He's not.
Or he,
Wait,
it's
not on
rare.
that time. Not remember they're
Yeah.
supposed. That's a very serious time for them, bro. Like
Sure.
that's
Sure.
they're not. Hey, you don't see boxing matches happening on Easter, right? You don't see boxing matches happening on Christmas, right? Let's stay away from these dates, man. Let's stay away from them. Prince, Amir, and now Devin should be 3 examples of why we need to stay away from the April date. That's all I got on that. And
Yeah.
Bernard, is Bernard Christian?
Oh,
Is he Christian?
I don't. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, what happens? He goes into prison. The same thing happens to fucking Tyson. Comes out, all this. So maybe I don't even know. I've never seen him rock anything, to be honest. But I mean, I don't think so.
That was a very big insult he did to them. But he went Allah Akbar or something like that when the
Yeah,
announcement was
yeah.
being made. Ay, ay,
Uh,
ay. I was like, ay, Bernard.
and
You're
you know
trying to
what?
start
He
a
said it
holy
before.
war.
He said it before the announcement made. It would have been
Yes.
bad if he wouldn't have got the victory. It would have been like I could imagine Devin being like, "Ha motherfucker," But it didn't turn out the way he ended up getting the victory. And Bernard is no innocent man himself. He got into Bill Haney's ear during the press or the weigh-ins, right, which ended up resulting in a shoving match on the scale and stuff like that on top of the stage. So he has, his hand in the fucking innocent one here, and definitely and I saw somebody fucking tweeted or put it on Instagram or something like if Munguia ends up upsetting Canelo, there's not going to be enough cocaine in the fucking world for Oscar. Like his nose is going to do shit. His nose will be fucked
Hey,
up by July.
poor Oscar. Did you see the one where someone got him sniffing in the back?
No,
He's standing behind Ryan, and he does like a little face like this, right? He does like
I
that, and
see.
then they're like, "Look at Oscar wants the man right now. He's looking for the plug." Oscar can't do shit, bro. He can't. And dude, I swear he touches his nose. They're like, he touches his nose. We're like little kids when it comes to that. Did he say
Yeah.
Coke? Did he say he wanted Coke? It's like I want a fucking soda, you guys.
Every, I, Yeah, I know. It's like Coca-Cola. Do I have to say it out loud? It actually says it on the bottle. It's Coke. The, so the pictures or one of the videos of him in the gym with Ryan, and his eyes are fucking wide as shit.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
yeah. It's like, and he
yeah. He was
fucking laid
probably lit.
down.
He was probably lit on that
Yeah,
day. He definitely was probably
yeah.
lit.
But yeah, it's like we can't forgive that every time. We can't let it slide. Every time we see him, like, oh, is that he just missed? Okay, yeah. We're always on fucking aware with that dude. One of the things that you had sent me from the zone one, the zone actually, I don't know like how or why they were prompted to ask this question, but on the DAZN Instagram page it um, says is Devin Haney still the WBC world champion after losing to Ryan Garcia? Technically, yes, obviously, right, because they didn't fight at the contracted weight, and therefore the belt wasn't on the line. But does he? How can I explain it? Should he lose the belt? No, but we already talked about it yesterday. Just drop the belt and go to 147, because clearly at 140 it ain't gonna be there for you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he's not gonna be the champion at 140 much longer, but it's not because he lost to Ryan, but rather because he's gonna have to relinquish it to move up to 147. I have to assume.
I would pull an Eric Morales on this one. When Eric Morales loses to Barrera, everyone thought he was done. He turns around and fights fucking Manny Pacquiao, beats Manny Pacquiao in the first fight, and now he's on top of the world again. Do you remember that little exchange
Yes, yes,
Morales went
yes.
through?
Yep.
Haney stays at 140, doesn't defend his title, but tries to maybe unify with Lopez, right? Get that fight on, or you start going after little guy Tank, who had so much to say yesterday, even proclaimed Ryan's win as a win for both of them. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Start going after him. Start making him, because if Haney can make 140, if he can make it. He didn't have no. I didn't see him. You know what? Yes, he looked dry on the scale, but they all do. When they actually and Ryan, that's what makes it a fucking great fight. I don't know if Ryan, if you've ever been on the outside looking in, but when both of those men hit the scale and it said 147, 147, we have a fight, or 140, 140, that's what gets the intensity up, right? Like, yeah, they're in tip top shape, boy. And then you see all their fucking chiseled. You see their fighting spirit looks like, right? And it just gets the crowd juice. The crowd gets us. So fuck you and your, I usually gonna make the weight. That's part of the excitement for the fans. That's why the fans like to be at the weigh-ins, right? To see that both men are at the best shape of their life. Can't get any better. When you hit your weight on the dot 140, that's pretty fucking cool. Like to me, like, don't you get nervous? Here's an example. Do you ever get nervous when they come in under 140? Because I used to. There would be a
No,
fight.
I mean, I notice it when because like usually it's like half a pound, so it's like 139.5, and I'm like, oh, wait, 0.5, it's only half a pound. Like, no, but
There was a few. There was a few where it was like 146 or 145. I think Ricky Hatton did it maybe one time when he went to welterweight. So there was a few. Marquez, I think, used to do that, and I'd be like, man, why are they leaving weight on the? They're leaving, muscle mass and all that on the scale. They're not at their max. So for me, I guess that should maybe just me then. I never liked it when they came in under. I wanted to see it, bam, hit 147 on the dot, hit 140, 160 on the dot. So that should, maybe it's just me, but no, Ryan, I don't want to play the guessing game when we're at the fucking weigh-ins. Did these guys honor the contract or not? That's stupid. So
yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't need to be questioned. That's the point of the contract, and I wonder. Right? I mean, that's kind of the point of it, bro. That's like it's kind of the handshake, the handshake that you fucking hand, with that pretty much the ink version of that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the whole point of the fucking contract. But I
You mean
wonder.
I have to show up to work when you hire me, Miguel? What the fuck? I didn't
Yeah,
know I had to. Oh man, I thought you just pay me.
it's like, hold up, I signed this saying that I have to show up to work, and therefore I have to show up to work. Like, this is me agreeing to actually showing up to work. What the fuck? What the hell kind of socialist shit is this? What the fuck kind of fascist? The fucking communism over here. Me writing it down, agreeing to come to work, and now I have to come to work. Like, Dude, like I wonder if Ryan Garcia's future opponents are gonna be like, you did it once, fool. Don't try to fool me fucking second time. Or even if it isn't Devin, now from here on out, Ryan Garcia's opponents, how they're
Definitely.
be like, hold the front door, fuck this motherfucker.
If they have the right representation, definitely these contracts are going to have a lot more in them now. So yeah, and so my answer to the giving up the title would only the Haneys are going to know the answer to that, the true answer. My make believe answer, if I was them, would be if he can make 140, I stay at 140 to try to get that win back, to try to show everyone if you come in at 140 against Devin Haney at the right weight, I'm whooping your ass. And I think that would put, like it did for Morales, would put him right back on the map at 140, especially if he like took out Lopez, which I don't know if he can. I'm just saying if he got the fight,
No,
both of
but
them are.
but Tank is better because keep in mind the reason Morales went after Pacquiao was because Pacquiao beat the living crap out of Barrera,
Yes.
who he just lost to.
Yes.
So who's the only other guy who that Ryan has lost to? The only guy is Tank. So it
Yeah.
has to be Tank. It is gonna. Well, I won't say it has to be, but that's my point. Like if we're
That's a
gonna
good
go
point,
that
though.
route, he's
That's
gonna
a good
have to
point.
go after the guy who just beat the dude who beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's gonna be because when you said that, I was like, okay, cool. He's gonna go after some, fucking whirlwind guy who takes people out. The Matias dude. I was like, oh, okay, Matias. And then you said Tank, and I was like, oh well, fuck yeah, Tank, because Tank beat Ryan. Of course,
Well,
perfect.
that's
Boom.
exactly what I meant, Miguel. That's exactly. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Sure.
No, that's a good
Connecting the
point,
dots
though.
here. I'm connecting it.
That's a good point. That would be the biggest fight for him. Can you imagine how big that fight would be? Could you imagine? Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy, and this is one of the things I love. They call it, in MMA they call it MMA math. It's like this guy beat this guy, and therefore this guy should be able to beat this guy, and it doesn't always work that way, right? It's
No.
like,
No.
if fucking the Tank, beat Ryan and Ryan beat Devin, using this math, Tank should be able to beat Devin, but the fuck knows, it turns out that way. But yeah, that would be damn. That would be because keep in mind, Ryan and his team are pretty much already disregarding any sort of rematch. They
Right.
already wants to go in that
Right.
direction. So what is Devin going to do? There's no contract, there's no rematch clause or anything like that, and not to my knowledge at least. It was just them saying, yeah, let's run it back. But realistically, if that doesn't go down, then what else is Devin going to do?
And,
Probably go after
and
one of the champions. I get it, but go after Tank.
and seriously, Bill, this is the Mayweather playbook here.
Yeah.
Mayweather used to love for the guys to take one defeat and then he would come a locking, right? Now he's interested, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see Tank Davis maybe being really interested in the fight with Devin Haney for the WBC junior welterweight title. He can run up there, take a title, knock out Haney, make a pay-per-view dollar, and
Mm-hmm.
either stay there or go back to 135, whatever he wants to do. But it's kind of for them, they would be think they're still in the belt, right? You pull up that
Sure.
mask, they're robbing a belt. They're robbing a belt from Devin.
From
So
Devin.
yeah. So if I'm Bill Haney, I'm probably looking at that fight for Devin's next fight. And don't tell me it's too fast because I just gave you a name of a man that went from Barrera to fucking Pacquiao. And that's harder to do.
Yeah, and we can use the, oh, it was a different era, but Devin Devin is from that era. That's why
Yes.
he was in that ring. Devin,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? He is part of that era,
Yep.
not age wise, but spirit wise, beating the people that he has defeated. And we can, put his wins under a fucking microscope and see whatever the fuck fine. But in the record books, it's a fucking W, up until
Yeah.
Ryan. But regardless, he is from that. He beat the dude who beat the guy, and he was the man, and so and so. So
He beat them
I
both. He
yeah,
beat them both. That was
yeah.
pretty cool that he did. Most guys don't do that. You know what I mean? Beat the
Mhm.
undisputed and the guy that was the undisputed. The
Mhm.
hell? So
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty good.
And then beat the other guy who was the last one. It's like three. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. That's no fucking joke. He got Linares, he got
Oh
Cambosos, he
yeah.
got Loma. It's just like the three last two. So there is no doubt. The only guy he didn't catch was Teofimo, because he ended up going to 140. But nonetheless, there's a possible fight right there. It would be. I don't know. Do you think? Ah, damn it. See, because my immediate instinct is to say, okay, let's give Devin some time to recoup because this is a pretty badass whooping. His jaw's fucked up. He's gonna need some time to recoup. Would a tune-up fight help him before he tries to pursue a fight with Tank?
No, because he's at the top of his game right now, right? So I wouldn't. I know they all want to do. They're all going to want to do tune-up fights. This was supposed to be a stay busy fight. That's what Bill was saying. This was. So now we're going to do another stay busy fight. What if that one ends the same way this stay busy fight was supposed to happen? Now he's just gone. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer. I'm not in their camp, so I don't know what the medical record looks like. All of that plays into these decisions. What I am saying is, if he's 100%, he should be 26, I believe, this year. That's dead in your prime. You ain't gonna get any better. Tank is already in his mid 30s. I think he's 32, or no, Tank's like 32 or so now, bro.
No. I don't know. He's not 30 yet. Oh shit, is he?
You look up Tank, bro.
I'm gonna look him up. I could have sworn home dude is just barely getting there.
Nah, man, those PBC guys, man, those PBC guys, they fight once a year, and they fucking their prime just goes, dude. It happened to the Charlos. It happened to Spence. Like, you look back and you're like, what the fuck? You're in your 30s, dude.
And no. He's 29, but he's turning 30 in November.
30 this. Okay. All right. Shit, I thought he was already 30. Wow. Okay. Well, all right. Well, he's turning
later
30.
Later this year.
Yeah. So. I mean, but at 30 though, you can wait another year. At 30, you can let him get another year older. But no, if you're trying to make your son the best out here, and you say he's the best, you don't want to waste no time, and you don't want him to get upsetted by just not being focused because he's fighting some scrub. If Tank is willing, let's go after the Tank fight at 140, no rehydration clause. And that's it, man. He beats Tank. Can you imagine what the rematch with Ryan would look like at 147 if he turns around and beats Tank at 140, a solid 140? Both men come in. It's like one of those old school great American fights. You know what I'm saying? Both guys representing American flags. They come in on weight. This is a hell of a fight. Bam, he fucking wins. Now that fight moving up to 147 is fucking payday. That payday, man.
Let me throw a curveball at you. Tank gets upset. Go after Frank Martin and lower him to 140?
No, I don't think so, because the money's not good. I don't know if Frank Martin
you don't think so? The guy who beat Tank?
He might beat Tank in front of 50,000. Right? The PBC's been averaging like 60,000 pay-per-view buys. So I don't know who's going to see the fight. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, but they'll find out about it, this dude, and then they'll watch the fight. No, I mean, like, the bottom line is him beating Tank. Granted, no one tuned in live to watch it, but I mean, if they might have, if supposedly Tank is this fucking superstar that they say he is, they're gonna tune in to watch him fight no matter who the fuck he fights, supposedly according to BBC. But if that's the case, boom, we got ourselves Frank Martin. He's on the biggest platform of his fucking career. The biggest high-profile fight of his career. He ends up getting away with the victory somehow. And then Devin says, "Oh, I'm gonna whoop this motherfucker's ass." Basically, what he was the scenario that we just put out for Ryan, but for Tank.
Yeah, I mean, the option would be there, but the fight isn't as juicy as if Tank is there. Tank versus Devin Haney is a huge fight. I don't really know Frank Martin's star quality right now. I can't see it being the level of 1.4 million buys if he beats Tank. So it wouldn't be there yet. If Devin gets Tank to win, that fight is huge, man, because they have the 140 that Ryan didn't make, and that makes Devin still, it still gives him he's still alive at 140. He's still a live dog because he got hustled, man. There's some bullshit that went down, and part of the bullshit came from his own camp. I'm not gonna forgive them for not having that kid. If this kid isn't using his fucking right hand, this is where his right hand needed to be. Every minute, every second of the fight. If you're not punching, this is where it's at. It's not here. It's not down here. It's not doing this. We're not doing fucking this. I know that. And he did that way too much. He was fucking putting his hand out. All right, the going straight back
Yeah.
and picking the fucking wrong door. You can't do that. You can't do that to Ryan. If you get clipped with that left hook as you're trying to exit the right, you're fucking gonna get hurt. You're like, these are things that they needed to work on. So when you're in the ring, he ain't even thinking about going out the right.
Right.
He's only going out the
It's second
left.
nature at that point. He's just reacting. Yeah. That's the whole
And
point
this
of
fucking
practice.
thing stays here. And it was just like
Yeah.
Barrera, right? Remember Barrera? He nullifies Prince with that jab. Remember, he changed his whole game plan for that fight. Could have swore Bernard changed it for Felix too. He came with a whole different game plan, right? He knew what Trinidad did good, and he nullified it.
Yeah, that Marquez, dude. Like, it's so when you are a right-handed fighter and you fight another right-handed fighter, you're gonna have habits. You're gonna duck into a certain direction to get out of the way. When you fight a southpaw, you have to switch those habits. You know how hard it is to switch those fucking habits? It's like
Right.
that shows you how much Marquez put into the training camp, that it becomes second nature for him to then duck in the opposite direction that he has been ducking the entire fucking time of his career. So that it's those things, it's the constant repetition that eventually you start doing it on autopilot, not even really thinking about it at that point. And I don't know what the fuck Devin, and I was watching an interview with Jim Lampley, and Jim Lampley basically said, like, when Devin got tagged in that first round, he pretty much never recovered, and he was playing catch up the rest of the whole fucking time, which seems about right. The thing is, he should have never been caught with that fucking thing to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, had he had that shit up the whole fucking time, it wouldn't have happened to begin with.
No, and at least a lot better protection. Miguel,
Yeah.
the first fucking left hook that lands almost dropped him, dude. It's round one. So it was either the extra 3 pounds of muscle or it's freaking Devin's chin is that garbage. Which one do you really think it is? This dude has a Hall of Fame resume already, right? Yeah, he's been hurt, but he was never hurt in round motherfucking one punch. One punch, and then a few seconds later, punch number 2, rocks him again. Come on, no one's even talking about that. Is it that because they think Devin's chin is so weak, or Ryan's left hook is that pure? But they're forgetting about the cheating of the 3 pounds. Was that the reason his power was so fucking damaging in the first 10 seconds? Come on, people. I don't know. It was a good fight for Ryan. Ryan, he attracts the eyes that we need because he brings casuals back to the sport. So I just hope he cleans it up. And then for Devin, really interested to see where they're going from here on out.
Reason why his were that Bill and Devin don't pull out. I don't think, he can only pull that trick off once. I don't think his antics are going to be that bad unless him and his team come up with a damn new one and pull some other shit out that the next fighter is going to have to fucking think about in a contract. But I don't think the antics will be as obnoxious and over the top as they were this time because he doesn't need to at that point. At that point, he got the win over fucking Devin, and he doesn't need to do the exact same thing. He doesn't intend to do the exact same thing unless we have ourselves another situation where he wants to, someone was trying to fight him at 147 and he comes in at 150 or some shit in the story. I have to assume it won't continue.
I am a little let down that Ryan wasn't at a nonprofit organization this morning giving toys to all the children in
turkeys?
New York.
Oh, no, not this. That's fucking Don King and Mike Tyson. Hanging out turkeys? No. Handing out. We're in April. Handing out Easter baskets. I don't know.
No, you just take toys, man. You just load. Man, these kids they need things, bro. You just take toys to the orphanage, the foster care. You open up your trunk and you help the children, man. Little disappointed, Ryan. Pick your fucking game up, huh? Jeez almighty.
Yeah.
I can help you spend it.
Talk to Oscar. we all can. It'd be nice. I can get some new tires on my truck. I'm just saying.
I get some new tires for the kids' truck. Miguel, you gotta word it right, bro.
That's sorry. So I can drive the kids to the gyms. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. So I can get a nice car, and then we'll all be safe. We'll all be safe driving on all-terrain tires.
That's the kids.
To the fucking gym.
That's the kid's RV. That's the kid's boat. That's the kid's mountain
Yeah.
bike.
That's his ATV right over there. That's his jet ski right there. Make sure to get the jet ski, please. It's in the garage.
And we got boys
Geez.
and girls. I could go on for days. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get the fucking cookies, the Girl Scouts cookies while we're at it. Well, why not? They're outside the supermarket asking for cookies. Oh, geez. Well, anything else you wanted to bring up? I think that was our kind of what we wanted to touch on this time around. Now that we've had some time to, make sure that everything digests and we see the game plan, getting robbed. But this was a nice an additional show for you guys, right? We did one yesterday. We did one today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll be back next week. There's some fights coming up. I don't know who's fighting next week. I don't think I know who the fuck fighting next week already. I'm already, because of this weekend. April 27th, but I'm sure everyone will be
Bam Bam,
of course, or whatever.
Bam Bam,
Oh,
and Estrada.
already?
I think it's in 2 weeks. It might not be this Saturday, but
okay,
maybe the following Saturday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
I believe
something else to look for.
And then Munguia and Canelo.
Momentarily. Yeah. Oh no, Munguia and Canelo is 2 weeks.
Okay, there you go.
That's like
there you go.
the Cinco de Mayo weekend.
There you go.
Yeah, so we got that, and then we got Jose Ramirez.
There it is.
So we'll got something for sure.
I knew they were brown, Miguel. I knew they were brown. No, I'm just kidding.
and they're also 140s, so hey y'all, if they're 140 pounders, it's worth tuning in to watch. We got ourselves maybe Ramirez puts on a hell of a performance, and we're like, whoa, he's back. Why not? Especially with how hot 140 is right now. But yes, yeah, and then of course we'll make sure to have some sort of, besides the results of the Jose Ramirez fight and Bartholomew, it's going to be basically the preview of Canelo and Munguia coming on Cinco de Mayo weekend. So stay tuned. We'll be bringing you guys a lot more content here with the lead up. I'm gonna make sure to hit. Oh, you know what? They've already set up the ring at the MGM, like the Munguia and shit like that. I'm gonna go take some pictures. See if I can maybe head down to the Grand Arrival, see what I can catch there. Maybe the open workouts, if they do it, the whole fucking shebang. See if I can get in there, and if I can get in there, you're gonna be expect some content, on our Facebook page and our YouTube to make sure that we catch something along the lines of Canelo and Munguia. But in the meantime, it is also Sunday night. I'm sure everybody has to go to work tomorrow. So thank you once more for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This has been your co-host, Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Feed Migs. As always, joined by Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Labouche. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Peace.